guys, it's Brit. Tonight we're here to talk about a really scary encounter that Jenna Marbles and her new husband Julien had at their residence in California. Super scary situation, but I wanted to bring it to you guys so we can not only discuss it, but it also ties back to things that I talk about all the time on my channel, and that is internet safety and unhinged subscribers, fans, super fans, stans, whatever you want to label them. They are out there, and this situation unfolded, and I want to talk to you about it. So if you're interested, please keep watching. All right, you guys, so when you have people that are genuine supporters and they're just there to watch your videos and leave a comment and, maybe send a note once in a while, there are also people that become very infatuated with every single aspect of your life. They will look up addresses, they will trace IP addresses, they will try to figure out what grocery store you go to, they will send extremely personalized gifts to you and expect something in exchange, like more attention or some kind of admiration from someone that they have put on a very specific kind of pedestal. And I talk about parasocial relationships all the time on my channel, so I don't want to rant on that for too long. But when I think of situations like this, I think of the YouTubers that I talk about on a normal basis, and most of the YouTubers that I talk about consistently all have children in their home. So when you think about internet safety, and then you tie it back to putting your life online, and then you also think about kids that could be in the crosshairs of someone being abnormally obsessed with you, that's why I get so fired up about these YouTubers not taking safety seriously. And I know that some people might look at it and be like, oh, well, that's none of your damn business, whatever. But as we know, anything that's online is everybody's business. It's not private information. If someone is exhibiting that they're obsessed with a YouTuber publicly, then people are going to have an opinion about it. If someone shares their relationship, then people are going to have an opinion about it. If someone shares their toxic relationship with an in-law, people are, public content, public opinion. We've talked about that before. So this entire situation started to unfold when Jenna's husband, Julien, posted on Instagram and said, "Today someone broke into our house. A woman that we don't know entered our home unannounced. Upon her entering our back door, I immediately subdued her with OC pepper spray and was able to lock her out. I called the police and she was apprehended and arrested. Jenna, the dogs, and myself are all safe. While this person is a complete stranger to me, they have been harassing me at my home throughout the last 2 months. This was something that for safety reasons I was doing my best to keep offline, but we were notified that a media outlet had information on today's event and are planning on running a story, so I wanted you to hear what happened from me first." And I really respect the courage that it takes to keep something like that offline, because it would be very easy to come onto your platform and tell subscribers and tell listeners about these kind of scary things that are unfolding. But unfortunately, sometimes when you are dealing with something like that in real life, it can also complicate the situation and enrage the stalker or the harasser even more. So I understand him keeping it offline. I could have also understood wanting to venting, wanting to voice your frustrations, wanting to talk to subscribers about it. It's a very scary situation, but I understand both sides of it, and I respect his decision to try to keep it offline until things unraveled today. NBC News, I also wanted to take a look at their article, see if there was anything new or different about it, and they did try to contact the Los Angeles Police Department, but they did not respond to a request for comment from NBC. And Julien and Jenna also chose to not respond to NBC for their request for comments as well. This is a really scary situation, and it seems like as internet culture continues to progress, these kinds of situations are becoming more and more common. And not only do I take anyone who's online, like I take, internet safety very seriously. It's a real concern. But I also take my own content to make sure that I am not outing a YouTuber's personal information, because as we know, that is doxing. And if you're a known doxer, I have zero respect for you. If you are doxing someone's personal information, where you're saying their last name, where they live, where they work, what places they frequent, like if you're outright literally telling people exactly where to find these people, I have no respect for you. And I know that some people are not the biggest fans of Jenna, and her history is not something that some people applaud. In the video that is now deleted, I felt like she took accountability. I was hoping that she was going to take a break and then come back to YouTube, but she's obviously made the decision that is best for her, and she is operating in the capacity that she feels the most comfortable, and that is fine for her. That's her decision. I just can't understand. I know that people deal with mental health struggles and they become attached to these YouTubers and things like this, but it's just such a scary world that we live in. And to have the audacity to show up to someone's personal residence is very alarming. And even to suggest that as a possibility, I think is really scary. I think one of the best ways to lift up YouTubers or content creators that you really admire is to support their content. Leave them comments, send them a nice email, follow them on social media. I will tell you guys from personal experience, there are certain subscribers that I recognize their names just because they consistently leave comments and they're always wanting to have a conversation. Even if we don't agree on the topic, they're wanting to have a conversation, and there are names that I come across and they're recognizable to me because those people are consistently making their presence known, and I really, really adore that. What I wouldn't adore is one of those subscribers showing up to my home. I think that people that build these parasocial relationships really feel like they're going to be, like in their mind, they're going to be admired, but to any sane person looking at the situation, they realize what a walking red flag that is and how alarming and scary it is. I've had a couple of interesting interactions with subscribers, and I'm not going to really get into that today, but there have been a couple times where I felt like it was a little alarming, and I couldn't imagine dealing with that on a channel that has 10 million subscribers. I couldn't imagine the things that you come across. So this is why I constantly harp on internet safety. I'm constantly talking about it, and it might become a bit of a repetitive topic, but it's super important. It's important to me, and it's important when it comes to the things that I talk about, because on top of me wanting to make sure that I'm not putting anyone in harm's way, I also want to set an example for myself, because what kind of hypocrite would I look like if I was literally harping on internet safety and filming outside my house all the time and filming, telling you guys the address of the grocery stores that I frequent? I would look like a massive hypocrite. But internet safety matters. It's a really scary world, and there are people who are taking in content and becoming obsessed with children. And just to be really clear, adults deserve privacy as well. But then I also think of kids, like I said before, that are in the, they can be in the crossfire of an adult having an inappropriate parasocial relationship with another adult. And there are children in that home, and you just never know what lengths someone is willing to go to. It's extremely scary. I'd like to see more content creators normalizing keeping things off the internet. Don't tell us what city you live in. I don't need to know that. All I need to know is, do you have an upload schedule? What kind of content do you make? What are you really passionate about? What can I expect to see from you as far as content goes? And engage with your subscribers. Like their comments, respond to a DM if you get one. Those are the things that I care about personally, and I'm not saying that that's the only or the best way. But I'd like to see secrecy, maybe not secrecy, I'd like to see confidentiality normalized. Because once you become an open book, that's where people kind of, it feels like if you give them an inch, they'll take a mile, and they'll continue to dig. And then you have people like this that are willing to literally harass someone all because they watch them online and they have become oddly obsessed. So it is super important. I wanted to bring this to you guys. As soon as I saw it, I felt awful for Jenna and Julien. I'm glad that they're good. I'm glad that the dogs are good. And I hope that they're, able to heal from what is absolutely a very scary situation. And it could have ended much worse than it did. I mean, let's be honest, the Idaho situation right now, even though I'm not covering that on my channel, it is starting to be understood that allegedly this guy was a stalker. Once you're starting to deal with people who are willing to stalk, harass, show up in real life, do all of this kind of stuff, you're dealing with a completely different territory that has no place online, and it should not ever be ignored in internet culture. And that's why I talk about it sporadically. So that's going to be it for now. If you like the video, please leave a like and a comment. And if you'd like to see more from me in the future, please subscribe. I'll see you guys soon. Bye. You want to say something? Okay.